Hello and welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here, and today we'll be talking about ONDC, which is Open Network for Digital Commerce. Some lines like these, which are like reimagining the future of digital commerce. So these can also become direct questions. How? Let's say the question comes that comment on how ONDC is reimagining the future of digital commerce. We'll also see how it is an emerging technology. All right. So this is from where I have picked up this article. This was published in the Hindu. ONDC has potential to dilute market concentration. So one thing that we read about is dilute or dilution. So what is dilution? It's related with the concentration. So it's basically a chemical term. And what is concentration? The amount of, let's say, X present in Y. This is concentration. So what we are talking about here is digital, or we are talking about the e-commerce. So the X and Y here are the digital e-commerce market brands like Amazon, let's say, or Flipkart, or eBay, or any other sites, and Y is the overall digital market. So their share is much high in the market. That's why the concentration is also high. What ONDC will do, it will dilute this share. That means it may have a significant presence in the future in this e-commerce market. So we'll see how. All right. So why is it in news now? So platform fee for food delivery using ONDC are being reported at fifth of those charged by the market leaders. That means it's delivering the same stuff at only 20% of the commission or the profit. So this is a considerable reduction in the cost of intermediation. That means this is, let's say, one restaurant which is preparing the food. This has the food. And it is wanted or desired by somebody. It's ordered by somebody living in a home here or a building here. Now, what is the purpose of the intermediary? Is to display this food, list it, rate it, process the payment, and manage the delivery. So this is what they are paying for basically. This is what extra we are paying for. And there is a 80% reduction in this fee when we use the ONDC. So let's see what is ONDC. All right. So this also holds for the potential to break the dominance of Swiggy and Zomato, and eventually even that retail platforms like Amazon and Flipkart. So right now it's mostly working for food systems, food delivery as a pilot project. And in future it will or may also work for e-commerce places like Amazon and Flipkart. All right. So let's see what is the context here. So the government's efforts to use technology to make e-commerce more competitive are beginning to show up in the food delivery services. Customers are reporting noticeable price differences in the orders placed. Okay, do one more thing please in the middle, that whenever you encounter spellings which we usually, let's say, use in the answers, so please focus on how to spell them. Notice able. All right. Okay. So online apps using the ONDC, which creates a network of interconnected e-marketplaces. So this is the main thing here. If somebody asks you how to define ONDC in a line, then the answer is a network of interconnected e-marketplaces that makes it easier for small store owners to tap demand online. It could be a game changer on the lines of the UPI, that is the most famous thing India has right now, even globally. It has been accepted globally by various countries. So the infrastructure on which digital transactions are growing in this country exponentially. What is exponentially? This is a straight line graph. This is an exponential graph. All right. So the slope here is a square function of the X and Y. All right. Okay, let's see what is ONDC. First of all, it was launched in late 2021 under the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, that is DPIIT, by the Ministry of Commerce. So please remember all these things. that who has released ONDC in which year and why. So as a part of Digital India push, ONDC works as a network of interconnected e-marketplaces through which sellers, including brands, can list and sell their products directly to customers, bypassing any middlemen or intermediaries. So eventually it will also go in the e-commerce field, and the initiation has begun. So ONDC is also offering delivery services for groceries, home decor. Decor basically is decoration, cleaning essentials and other products. All right. So let's see why was it launched at the first place. In the first place. All right. So what were the objectives? So one is democratization and decentralization of e-commerce. So when we talk about the democratization, just a second. So what we mean with democratization here, just a second, that we are dealing with the demos, and demos means public. So government has launched this to make the whole e-commerce thing more public centered or public focused. That means if people are saving money, let's say they are saving 80% money on the delivery charges, then this money is going eventually to people, or they are keeping it with themselves. So that's how it's public centered. That means it saves money eventually, and it's between the government and public. All right. Second thing is inclusivity and access for sellers, especially small and medium enterprises as well as local businesses. So the one major problem with the Amazon was that let's say there is a big seller. So big seller has the capacity to do more advertisement, more sponsored, let's say, products, or top rated or top listed as per their own AI systems. But smaller sellers would not find their place, even if they have the same things to sell. So ONDC will resolve this. So it may offer new solutions for the small and medium enterprises as well as local businesses. Local businesses depend on the, let's say, your GPS location, your pin code, your geography. Right now, sometimes what happens, even if you, so that is the prima facie benefit of the, that you are living here in Rajasthan, let's say you ordered a bag, it comes from, let's say, Tamil Nadu. All right. But it may or may not show you the local businesses who are selling the same things, selling bags. So NDC may do this as well. Other things are increased choices and independency for consumers. So when we talk about the independency, it's both of choice and options. Options are what you are presented with. Choice is what you choose among from these options. So if the sponsored content is only coming on your, let's say, e-commerce or Amazon, then you will be making choice from there only. So with more options, there will be more choices. All right. One more thing is making goods or services cheaper. So this we have already seen. Delivery prices are quite low. Even processing fee might be low, 70 to 80%. So this is all for future. Let's see the working mechanism. Just a second. All right. So ONDC functions on the basis of an open network. So please remember this thing, especially open network, where it will not be a single platform similar to Amazon or Flipkart, but rather in the form of a gateway. So this is what you must remember, that it's not a single platform, it's a gateway where buyers and sellers across different platforms will be able to connect. So ONDC will function through various apps, any buyer app, e-commerce app, or UPI app also. So it is right now also working on Paytm in some cities. The Paytm app is sponsoring this ONDC also. Okay, so buyers can directly connect through various different apps. So ONDC is neither an app or a platform. Sellers can connect to ONDC via the Setu. So ONDC is a network Alright, it's a processing network. Alright, just a second. Okay, so let's see what are the outcomes. So one is increased transparency. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about these one by one. So ONDC can provide greater transparency by making government data more accessible to the public. So it's all about data, because data is what is eventually processed by the AI or any other system also. So if the data is more transparent, then there will be more transparency overall. Another thing is consumers or customers' choice. So NDC has the potential to dilute market concentration by increased customer choice and lower entry barriers. This entry barrier thing is very important. This is what makes the distinction between a large seller and a small seller. Let's say if the entry barrier is you must have on, let's say to list on the Amazon, you should have at least sold 5,000 products in the last month. Then the large seller can easily enter, small seller will find it very difficult to enter. Okay. Other thing is innovation. So NDC can spur innovation by providing entrepreneurs and researchers with access to the government data. So again, we are coming from data plus research. So this can lead to the development of new products and services that benefit society. So overall, we are developing a government network that will create connections between the small sellers with the buyers. So eventually it's a government shop, big government shop, we can say. All right. Okay. Okay. Another thing is level playing field. So when we talk about the playing field, so again it will reduce the, let's say, disparity between the various different sellers, whether they are small or large. Neutral and regulated platform. So let's see about this. So ONDC aims at fostering open networks developed on open source methodology. So this is one thing, that open source is what government is also promoting. Alright, so using open specification and network protocols independent of any specific platform. So the, let's say, specific pattern, AI, etc. will not be here. It will be open source and we will, let's say, be able to see how things are working. So it will be transparent. Alright. One more thing, let's see here, what is the potential of ONDC. So this can be very, very useful in the answer writing also, if the answer comes about ONDC. That grow India's digital consumption to $340 billion by 2030 with 500 million transaction users. Alright, so these are some data and figures that you can remember. Bring the next 500 million consumers and 100 million sellers to trade online. So it will bring not only sellers but also consumers online. Another thing is the score to connect 80 to 90 million self-employed workers. So 80 to 90 million employment, it will also increase basically. Okay, get 6 to 7 times more MSMEs into a diverse ecosystem. So MSMEs are very important. Alright, so micro, small and medium enterprises. So these are very important as a separate topic also. Just a second. Okay, so increase a farmer's net income by 25 to 35% and hence the agriculture ecosystem. So when we talk about the agriculture, we are talking about net income. That means farmers will be able to sell their products over here as well, whether they are, let's say, some kind of special cash crops or any special secondary products from these crops or millet cookies, etc. all these things. So there can be an increase in the farmers income also. Let's now see what are the challenges in this whole project, which is so good. So what challenges does it produce? So the first thing here is the complexity of the platform. So ONDC is not providing a direct website or any platform to itself. So it's very kind of, let's say, spread out via various different applications. So it's complex for new users. They cannot just go to a website and use it. So usability is complex. This is the first thing. Second thing is, because of the same reason, It is just connecting the sellers with the buyers. But it's not really connecting the delivery systems, etc. So this is all the online process, while this delivery and use and all is offline process. So now it's between seller and buyer. The ONDC is not providing any dispute redressal or return or refund or anything. So disputes may increase. All right. Third thing is the existing consumers. This is a psychological thing. So in the future it may change. However, the existing consumers are very much accustomed to, let's say, whether whatever they want to purchase, they will go for Amazon. All right. Not for, or even for the Flipkart. So ONDC does not come to their mind right now, at least. Let's see other things. That lack of a robust grievance addressal mechanism. So this is the very much plus point of the present e-commerce websites, especially Amazon, let's say. So the dispute redressal is very much fine and reliable. So reliability is a factor. Not an easy peasy task. So what is this easy peasy task? So these existing e-commerce companies, they have deepened up ties with the consumers through their lucrative and interoperable services. So let's say Amazon, let's we talk about Amazon. So with Amazon, with the membership, you also get Prime. With the Prime, you also get Audible, let's say. With Audible, you can also get free deliveries with the Prime, or even Prime, the streaming platform. Prime Videos, there is Prime Music also. So this is not an e-commerce platform anymore, it's the whole ecosystem. So just to save a few rupees, one will not transform from, let's say, Amazon to ONDC. So this is something it may have to develop. All right, let's see another thing, that goods and service may not be really cheaper. So ONDC is a facilitator of trade among buyers and sellers. It may not be able to provide offers like existing players, let's say 50% less, or there is, let's say, Amazon has ties up with banks such as, let's say, ICICI Bank. So if you use the ICICI Bank credit card, it will give 5% cash back. Or there are other things also. So this may not overall be present in the ONDC. So this is also a challenge involved. So however, all these problems can be solved over time, such as we see in the UPI also. So initially UPI was released by Bheem on the Bheem platform. So even while it has upgraded quite a bit, it is not much used. People often use GPay or Paytm or PhonePe. All right, so this is the issue here, and this is the same with the Amazon, Flipkart, etc. So we have grown, they have more funding, let's say, or more innovation, more technology, and they keep on changing things very, very quickly as per the customer's need. So this may or may not happen with the government's versions of ONDC, but of all these problems can be solved in future. All right, what we really need to see is how ONDC can change the market game. So only you can note down the positive points for now, and some of these points you can also note down, but they are more psychological and policy based, so they can be easily conquered. Let's, what is the way forward? So a better digital space for e-commerce must be built by the government in order to compete with the dominant e-commerce platform. So ONDC is the solution here. Along with this, it's important to create a proper digital education policy that takes into account various languages and user-friendly interface. So this is the most important thing here, that we can call this marketing also, but education is a more appropriate word. So if everybody knows about something and they are logically able to understand that one thing is better than the other, so of course they will be choosing the other. All right, one thing is a massive well-funded adoption campaign will be needed to bring over small sellers like Kirana stores to the platform. So funding is required. All right, one more thing, the demand and supply side should be able to access a secured single window to resolve issues such as information asymmetry, opaque pricing, quality concerns, and buyer-seller disputes. So this is the most important thing the ONDC must solve, and a proper grievance redressal mechanism. So everything everything depends on the reliability of the platforms between the seller, buyer, delivery, and whatever. On the reliability is this all runs. So a proper grievance redressal mechanism is of course necessary. So there should be a secured single window to navigate both the demand and supply side problems like information asymmetry, etc. So this we already have seen. All right. So this was the ONDC and its market potential. How to make notes out of this is, let's say, put a heading ONDC. So this is a half page or 1 page issue mostly, nothing more than that. First and foremost, you must write what is ONDC, and the definition here should be very clear. That what is it? Is it a platform? Is it a, let's say, interconnection of the various networks provided on various different apps? And when was it found? By whom? Launched when? By whom? And let's say under the purview of which mission? Digital India mission. And what are the objectives? Why? All right. So don't focus on, let's say, diluting the market concentration. That is not the primary area. The primary area is the economic inclusion of small sellers and MSMEs. So we write the answer in the correct manner. It has the potential to dilute the market concentration, but that is not our prima facie goal. The prima facie goal is the economic inclusion of small and micro and let's say medium industries. So we'll focus on this, that how it can do this. What are the challenges involved here? And lastly, what is the way forward? So you can make the similar notes as per this lecture also, or in the PDF also, or as per your own research, which is very much encouraged. So this will help solve your ONDC problem in 1 page. Make the 1 page notes of any new, let's say, topic you face. We'll be covering each such topic in a new video. So this is Yatharth here signing off. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you very much. Have a bright day. Keep studying and grow.